So today's video is all about the movement that I see the best ball strikers in the world do consistently, and yet most club golfers get this wrong most of the time. So we're talking about standing up, putting that swing on it, getting that lovely ball and then ground contact, but consistently hitting accurate and powerful golf shots. So a huge amount is made about hitting down on the golf ball with certain clubs and hitting up with driver. And yet, what I'm going to talk about, if you get this correct, you'll do it perfectly with each club in the bag and really take that ball striking to the next level. So when you look at the golf swing face on, simple form is that club moves in a circle around your body. And what we see when we're looking face on is that on the way back, the club moves up, then the club moves down, reaches the lowest point and then starts coming back up. So it's really important as a golfer that we're able to control the low point of our golf swing. And whenever the golf ball's on the floor, irons, hybrids, fairway woods, wedges, we want the low point to be ahead of the golf ball. So the way the best players in the world do it is on the way back, their weight and pressure starts to shift to that right side. But before they get to the top of the backswing, that pressure's already moving forward. They shift into that left side. The low point's now ahead, and then that front leg puts the brakes on, and they get that divot after the golf ball. But the difference in movement I see with club golfers is that they let the weight move on the way back. They get to the top of the backswing, then the club starts to move, and then they start to shift their weight. So it just happens too late. And the problem with that is we've got fat ones, we get thin ones. From time to time, you get it just right, but it's that inconsistency of ball striking. So what we need to do is give you a little drill that maybe exaggerates the feel that we want. And probably the best drill, I think, is that you take your address, get the club in line with where the ball would be, and then bring the feet together, and you're going to swing back. But as your hands get opposite your chest, you're going to step across and swing. So it's going to get that feel of really shifting very early during the backswing. So you're going to set up there, feet together, and I can tell straight away there I'm hitting the ground much further in front of the golf ball. So we do a couple more practice swings. And you've got to really feel, don't do what a lot of guys do with this drill, where they get here and then it's kind of a bit uncoordinated. It'll take a few goes, but again, it's back. And it feels fast, it feels powerful. And if you build up a little bit of confidence, you say, right, I'm going to try and actually hit a golf shot doing that. So feet, normal width, get together, and then I'm going to step early. That felt amazing. Low point 4.7 inches ahead. Clubs travelled down 5.2 degrees. Club speed at nearly 89 mile an hour and carry at 187. Maybe I should do that all the time. So that, like I said, is a fantastic drill. And don't be afraid of, hitting quite a few shots like that. Maybe just pick that one a little bit. But again, low point well ahead, clubs travel down, lots of club head speed, lots of accuracy, and again, nearly 170 carry. So the next progression from that, because I think a lot of the time when golfers do that drill, it's very exaggerated, to then just keep the feet still, they maybe don't quite get the same sensation. So what we're going to do is we're going to get there, swing back, and then you're just going to have a little lift your foot off the floor and stamp it down. Do a couple of practice swings. It does feel quick when I do that. And then again, hit the shot. Don't worry about the strike. Again, that feels lovely, feels really early. Even for me, 3.7 inches ahead. Again, club head speed 87 mile an hour and carry at 172. And as a general rule, I would say for most golfers, you can't do this move early enough. And an added bonus for this for a lot of golfers is when they swing back, they feel the backswing gets very long and out of control. But if you start moving towards a target earlier, the upper body can't go any further. So it's also a great way of feeling that it shortens your backswing without you trying to stop at a particular position. So we're going to do one more with the little stamp. Just push that one out a little bit, but again, felt early, felt quick, and felt really, really solid. And then ultimately, maybe have the little practice swing with the step drill, and then have the feet planted, but feel like there's that pushing down into the lead foot, moving my pressure left earlier in my downswing. So a little bit out of toe. But again, low point 3 inches ahead, club to travel down 3.6 degrees, club head speed at 88 mile an hour, and carry at 170. And like I said, even for me, that feels a little earlier than I would normally do. My kind of normal swing would probably be a bit more like that. And I can see there, low points ahead nicely, clubs travel down 3 degrees, club speeds drop down to 86, and that's where my carry then drops down. So certainly watching the match play at the weekend, and Sam Burns has spoken about this as a key thing in his swing, about getting that shift early into that lead side. And he actually made the point about feeling that as he shifts, that left hip goes down to then be allowed to rotate out the way. But we're going to feel like we kind of stamp early into the ground. It feels powerful. Again, 88 mile an hour, low point 5 inches ahead. Clubs travel down a little bit more at 5.8 degrees and carry at 171. So as I was explaining, the hitting down thing, the further ahead the low point is of the golf ball, the more the club's traveling down by the time it gets to the ball. So when you've got maybe 7-iron down to lob wedge, ball's in the middle of the stance, and we want that nice early shift, which is going to get that low point nicely ahead. As the clubs then get a little bit longer, you don't want the low point quite as far ahead, which is just where we move ball position. So then all of a sudden, instead of being in the middle, we're just gradually going to creep a little bit further forward each time. We're still going to move aggressively, so that low point's ahead, but it won't be as far ahead. Therefore, the club's traveling shallower into the ball, still down, maintaining the loft and hitting good shots. But I would say for anyone who struggles with this, practice with lots of loft in your hand to begin with. It's really nice to get that feel that you can exaggerate it, that you can stand up there. Again, if you need to, get yourself set, feet together, do the step drill. And it's amazing how good the strike is, the speed is, the accuracy is. Because when you start getting your sequence correct with that little bit of shift, then the body twists, then it pushes into the ground, we suddenly start lower body, then upper body, then club, which is a great coordination for power, but also accuracy. And a lot of golfers really feel like they're trying to start with the lower body, but it's not from that shift. They're trying to turn the hips. And then the more of it you practice, you'll probably have to do this for a while, but like I said, get those feet set. As the hands are getting 3/4 back, half back, feel that that pressure's shifting into that left side. And if you can do that, we're gonna start taking that ball striking with every club to a whole new level.